Well, hello and welcome back to the most generic podcast on the internet. This is the Points of Interest podcast. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
What is this? Oh my god, it's been so long. I don't know what this is anymore.
For real? I had to think of what's the order I have to do this in?
It's crazy, you know, when you have a routine and you step away from your routine, even for a little bit, which 2 weeks is a lot of time. You know, that's a lot of time between sessions.
It is. I mean, we haven't even talked in 2 weeks.
No. Well, yeah.
I mean, except for the, hour before we started doing this, before that part.
Right.
But we basically have taken off the whole month of February due to Valentine's, and then last week I actually got pretty sick, so I couldn't do the pod. There was no energy to do the pod, so it was better to rest and relax, and make sure I didn't blow my voice out.
Yeah. Look, man, this stuff isn't worth your health, Even though some people will there's some people who are dedicated and will do this sick, and I'm like, no, stop it.
Right. We both of us have over the years.
Yes, we have in the past. Yeah.
But this was, it was we had nothing burning we had to talk about over those 2 weeks. Really, there were things we could have talked about, but
right.
The Valentine's, spending Valentine's with my lady was a lot more fun sounding.
Right. Look, we didn't put Valentine's Day on a Tuesday. It wasn't our fault.
Right.
Right. It just happened to work out that way.
It just happened to work out that way.
What are you gonna do when that happens? Oh no, I was so sorry. I only say oh no because I was gonna retweet the link to the to this show, but it doesn't seem like it's appeared, or at least my name isn't attached to it. So,
really,
I'll search for it. But anyway,
I'll try and look at it too. Well, that actually brings up my first thing that I want to talk about. Actually,
let's do it.
While we were gone there on our little 2 week, little vacation there, some asshole out there in the world attempted and really did steal the Points of Interest podcast Twitter account.
You're joking, really?
I am not joking. I was sitting here minding my own business, and it looks like the tweet didn't go out at all because it didn't hit my phone at all. So this all coincides and makes sense then. So what happened? I'm sitting here just watching the old TV, and I've got the multi-monitor set up here on the computer, and all of a sudden I look over and there's 5 new emails all coming in on the email attached to the Points of Interest Twitter account. And the emails in succession basically say there's been a new device login on the Points of Interest. Your password has changed. Your email has changed. And there was one other thing. And I was like, what? That's very interesting. And to peel the curtain back, if you will, Francis has had access to it over the 10 years of it being around.
Yeah,
other people,
I haven't done anything.
But you've had access to it.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jason from Canada, the Elegant Weapon.
Oh, right.
He has had access to it over the years. And there's been, one other person, I believe, that has had access to it at some point in the 10 years existence.
Sure.
None of you live in Amsterdam.
No, but I'd love to.
Wouldn't that be great? It would be for all the bad reasons.
Oh, yeah.
$50 a day. So I just totally blew myself out of That was hilarious. Yo, Melia's in the house. What's up?
Yo, Melia.
Yo, what's happening, man?
How's it going?
So none of you are in Amsterdam.
No.
So immediately I get into Twitter, support Twitter, Twitter support, whatever it is. And I'm like, hey, here's what happened. Here's a screenshot of the succession of emails that came in. Here's a screenshot of one of them where they're in Amsterdam. I'm not in Amsterdam, so fucking fix this.
Right.
And I couldn't access the POI thing at all. It was on my phone. And as soon as I clicked on it to log in, not even log into it, just switch accounts from my account to the POI account, it kicked me out right away and then took it off my phone. I was like, oh, okay, rad. Now I have no access to my fucking show's, thing whatsoever. So,
oh my God.
And everybody has their feelings about fucking Elon, but Elon doesn't fucking, he's not in charge of the support. I mean, I guess he is. He owns the company, but he's not on the support team. So one of the 16 people that still work for Twitter, and it was crazy because Google sent me an email. Like, we've been trying to send your email for 2 days, but they're getting so many emails that they're full. But we'll keep trying to send your email.
Okay.
So it's about a week. I think it happened Valentine's week, which was convenient since we didn't do a show that week anyway.
Yeah.
And then it was the following week where I got an email at 4:35 in the morning. Yeah. That said, well, there was a couple emails in between, here, what email is this attached to? When's the last time you accessed it? Which would have been from the button press of my little macro box here. That was the last time that I can honestly remember accessing that account.
Okay.
So, and they had all that data and they could see that, and they kicked off whoever stole the account and reset all my shit. And this time, and here's the thing, the password that was attached to that account, I don't know how somebody would have found that because it was so random.
There could have been a security breach. They could have blocked it from some database somewhere. Hackers be hacking.
They do. So this time I let Google just be like, just pick the password for me, Googs. So I don't even know what the password is.
Good. And do the double authentication.
You can't. Fucking you have to only two-factor is only available to Twitter Blue.
Well, the workaround for that is because that's for the phone. Yeah, the two-factor for a phone is through Twitter Blue. If you use an app like Google Authentication, which you can get on any Android phone, on any Apple phone, what it'll do is it'll be your second authentication. So they have to have your phone to log into your account. So it's great. I did that. I have an app called Authy, and it does it. So here's some tech security for you folk out there listening today. Go get the Authy app if you have an iPhone, or the Google Authenticator app for your Android phone, and it'll do two-factor authentication for a bunch of different websites, a bunch of different places. So it's worth it for just that. And then you get it does it for you. So do it for POI.
Yeah, no shit. Because I was really concerned. I was so concerned. I'm like, what? I mean, not that I really use it a whole hell of a lot for anything else, but just promoting the show.
Right.
Not even promoting the show. I just use it through the macro box basically to say hey, we're going live. But it was still I've had that for 10 years. I don't want to lose that. What the fuck? I was really concerned. So that makes sense now that I hit the button and no tweet went out because it probably lost authentication.
Oh yeah, you got to do that all over.
So I'll have to redo that. So that was one of the things that happened over the 2 weeks.
I'm gonna share it.
What's that?
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna because there's a share button, so I'm just gonna share it manually. Go on though.
The this also happened during our little 2-week break. The vehicle that I'm borrowing, while traveling down the freeway at freeway speeds, decided to die on me.
I've been there, done that. Ugh.
And as we have stated before, like I'm already kind of like beating myself up over inconveniencing a family member taking their vehicle, and then here I am on the side of the freeway in their vehicle that's dead. I'm just like, why life? And I'm just, I'm standing outside the vehicle, just wide leg, just letting life just kick me in the balls over and over and over again. It was painful. Everything's fine now, but it was just like, why?
Yeah, I mean, of all the times for stuff to happen, it happened then and there, right? Like that's awful. But I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad that nothing happened to you. We've been having some storms over here in Southern California.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few. Just like inches upon inches of rain. So much so that like cities in California were trending because you could see the snow-covered mountains in like Pasadena and whatever. So there's like snow in different parts of California. So much so that when you go into buildings and go into businesses, they're like, "Did you get snow? Did you get snow?" And I'm like, "No, I got hail." That's the best. That's the best I can give you is I got hail.
I saw a video clip the other day of the LA River rivering.
Right. It wasn't Terminator 2ing, which is like dry enough for a semi truck to drive through.
It wasn't just the homeless people's piss running down the center trench.
Well, yeah. There was actual real water in the LA River.
Raging water.
Raging, yeah. Well, it was a lot of flooding. LA is not equipped for rain, even though we're supposed to get it, right? Because we're drought, we're always in a drought, but we're not equipped to handle it. So a lot of places were in you swimming, like you could swim, from one house to the other. That's how deep the water was. Like it's pretty intense.
I saw a clip on Twitter of a guy that tried driving a Porsche through, which wasn't super deep water, like on a freeway, the inside lane of a freeway turn. Yes. Like the outside lanes there was water there, but it wasn't enough to stop a car. But this guy decided to drive through the inside lane, and yeah, he was standing on the like windshield of his car, hoping somebody was going to come pick him up.
We're not smart. we're just not. When it comes to weather, look, California's a lot of things, right? We're trendsetters. We're, where the next big thing is. But when it comes to weather, we are the stupidest people because we have no idea what to do with weather. Zero idea. Other than snow. We know what to do with snow. We ski in it and we snowboard in it. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, in Big Bear.
Yeah.
But Bear. Not in fucking northern LA County.
Yeah. You can get away with it.
I mean, right now you can, yeah.
There's enough surfers out there in LA County to be like, I'll ride that wave. I'll ride that snowy wave. I'll take it. All right.
I have seen it. Really enjoyed some of the people like walking outside of their house with no fireplace or much of a heater, and it's snowing outside, and they're just like, what the fuck is this?
I mean,
is this nuclear fallout? What is going on?
We're already in scarves and parkas at 60-degree weather. Can you imagine what we were doing at 30?
Well, I bet
30-degree weather.
I bet. I can only think back to those two ladies in the elevator at that like whatever Comic-Con or WonderCon that we were at. It was like, 70, low 70s, and I'm in a t-shirt and shorts, and they're like in the longest of hoodies that they could find, and like hats and gloves. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are cold?
That is accurate. That is an accurate representation of of Californians handling cold weather. But anyway, look, we have a month's worth of stuff to catch up on. What else do we have on the list of things that we didn't talk about in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I did mention that the Valentines happened.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
And as I like to do if I have somebody to spoil, I like to do some spoiling.
Good.
So I thought
So do I.
there's nobody better to help provide spoilage to somebody than our really good and talented friend, Jay Fosgett.
You mean artist extraordinaire?
Artist, cartoonist, artist, illustrator, Muppet aficionado, burger loving.
Burger loving.
Oh, he loves the burgers.
Oh, I like that you added the burger loving.
I couldn't think of anything else. Canada's favorite, Jay Fosgett.
He's not Canadian, is he? I thought he's from here.
He isn't Canadian, but Canada loves him.
Oh, but Canada loves him. Okay. Okay. Is he Canada dry?
Well, I mean, he's from Michigan, so it is kind of Canada dry.
So, yeah.
But no, I commissioned a piece of art of my lady and I from what I really considered our first date, which was a Valentine's thing last year. We'd gone out,
Has
and
it been a year?
Yeah.
Has it been a year?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's the 17th.
Wow.
If we're gonna get specific about shit.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
Wow.
So I chose that as just like, it was a good picture. I was dressed up. I had a tie on and shit. So I figured that would be a good picture to have some art commissioned. So I had that done and printed out a nice, like a 11 by or 10 by 8 or whatever, the 8 by 10. Nice size. A nice size blown up picture of it.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
And gave it to her, and we had dinner and, did that whole thing. That was a lot of fun. I haven't got to do the Valentine's thing with anybody for quite many a year, so it was very nice to do that.
I find that's a trend. I was doing Super Geeked Up the other week, Valentine's week actually, and our guest, it was like an improv actor and a bunch of stuff. He too was talking about like how even in his 40s, like, this is my first time I actually had somebody in like decades to celebrate Valentine's Day with. I'm like, wow, that's really a thing. Like, and then I think of myself, I'm like, I haven't really celebrated, even though I had a relationship fairly recently. We didn't celebrate Valentine's Day because she wasn't into it. So I haven't actually celebrated Valentine's Day in like a decade and a half. So maybe that'll change in the future, but geez,
Right.
That's crazy.
Well, and lucky me, I pick one that has a birthday, right after Valentine's Day. So it's like Christmas. I get a little bit of a reprieve than Valentine's Day, then her birthday.
Which is worse, having a birthday after Valentine's Day or having a birthday after Christmas?
Having a birthday a week before Valentine's Day.
That's worse than.
I think that would be worse than whatever the other one you said was.
Well, it was either after Christmas or after Valentine's.
Well, I mean,
before.
it's still after Christmas, but it's before Valentine's Day.
Right.
Like very close.
Yeah, that's tough, especially if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, it's not that big a deal. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and their birthday is a week before Valentine's Day, it's just like, oh, jeez.
I dated a girl who was born on Christmas Eve.
That
was tough. I
want to date someone who was born on New Year's Day. Because then I'd never forget when her birthday was.
That's true. And you're all. I mean,
Like,
if you're
oh,
with the person, you're already doing the kissy kissy at midnight anyway. So like,
that's true. The kiss, yes, the kissy kissy. Yeah, yeah.
so that would be good.
That's
But that
another thing. That's another tradition I haven't done in a long time. That's I like that one too. That's a good one.
the New Year's night.
Yeah.
I hadn't spent New Year's with a significant other in quite a number of years, and it was nice to have a very relaxing evening this year with my lady.
I'm sensing a trend.
Relaxing evenings
No,
or
I mean, no, that I think just people in general are just not. Re- I think we're making a turn on people having relationships because again, like, the guest recently just got into a relationship. I know someone else who recently got into like people are recently like just in the last few years after having like a drought of a decade plus are like getting into relationships. I'm like, oh, that's good, good. I'm glad that we're turning it around and like we're hooking up again,
getting out there and
getting out there and yeah.
sowing fields
Sowing the
or
oats.
something.
Yeah, we were there. We were both there, right there.
Well, I mean that's why
in
we've been doing this for as long as we've been doing this.
That's true.
Uh,
You and Jade recently you shared recently like your friendship anniversary. I think it was with Jay, and um, it's been like a decade, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it is, right? I mean, when you think about it, when you really think about it, and it's a drop in time. 10 years, but at the same time, it's a long time to be friends with people, especially long distance friends.
Hi, listeners, mate. By the way, hello.
Hey, Anthony's in the house, and then on top of that, everything that we have crammed in those 10 years. That's a lot.
You want to know, which is funny, yeah, because speaking of cramming, one of the things we crammed that I have no idea how to stop, but remember CMYK TV?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still paying for the domain name.
Stop.
Because I don't know how. I don't know where I got it from.
Oh shit.
I have no idea where I have no idea. And I look up the who is it or what, like there's like registration information. I'm like, this website, I have no idea what this website is. I don't have login for this website. I don't know what the email address I used for this is. Like, I have no idea. And I'm still spending. And so every year I get $20 just like, thank you. We're going to keep CMYK TV still, happening. I'm like, no, how do I, and like, I have no idea because I don't know what email address I use.
Right.
I don't know like anything. And I don't know how to stop.
Contact your bank and tell them to, next time it happens, next year or whatever, contact your bank and be like, I don't know what this is.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to do something because it's really funny to just be like, we're going to charge you every year. And it's been like 6 or 7 years since we've done that show. And
Easily.
I'm still getting charged for, easily. And I'm like, the website still exists. If you go to cmyktv.com, you'll see like this old podcast that we used to do. No audio on it because the website itself, it's just that the website exists. And I'm just like, oh my God.
It's just a shell.
It's just a shell. It's really, it's just kind of funny. I'm like, oh dude, what did I do? What am I doing here? What is life? So anyway, but yeah, that's awesome that so you've known him for 10, which means we've known each other for about 9. Because I think it was fairly shortly after you two guys kind of got together and met, where we had the big the POI winter solstice episode.
Yeah, the solstice special, winter solstice special,
where everyone at the POI, when this was a network, all the podcast hosts would enter into this 4-hour long chat or something. Maybe
it was a lengthy episode. Yeah, because we wanted to try and fit everybody in and talk to everybody for 20 minutes or so.
And so myself and Dave the drummer came in for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. And that's when I first met Josh. And I guess that's and then history, and thus history happened. But yeah, it's
it is quite crazy to see, to look back, especially looking back at some of the pictures and whatnot, and thinking back to the picture Jay and I took in my apartment, and I just met you guys like for the first time in person. Like, holy shit, these two guys actually exist. I hope they're not weirdos because they're staying in my apartment.
And people are listening to this and like, they exist. Of course they exist. They're real people. You don't understand. That was Josh's first words to us when we met him at the airport, was that, oh, you guys are real. You guys exist. And I'm like, yeah.
I might have even poked Francis in the arm after he got in the car and be like, holy shit, you actually are real.
Yeah, because we had, for that up until then, it was just online. Like, we just knew each other through podcasting. So I love that. Yeah, I love that was just like us at the Tilted Kilt, just hanging out. Mm-hmm. Me with my Irish stew with garlic bread.
Yeah. God.
Whom I had to tell Dave the drummer, who is an actual Irishman, like from Ireland. I had to tell him, it's like, hey, here's your authentic Irish stew with garlic bread. And he, of course, mocked me profusely for that.
Yes. I remember that.
Hang out with ladies in small skirts and bras. So, whatever.
Exactly. It was great.
It was great.
You did mention, a moment of what are we doing and what's going on. I had one of those as well recently.
What happened?
I went to a incredibly heavy dubstep DJ performance concert thing.
How long did it take them to drop the beat?
Oh, that's the thing, Francis. They were dropping the beat like every 30 seconds. I don't know how to put this into words, man. Like, I had a great time. I was with my lady. We were having a great, dancing and carrying on, and it's the experience I've always ever wanted at an EDM show. I'm there with a cute chick that doesn't have a ton of clothes on and looks really good, and I'm grabbing her butt all night. It was great. But heavy dubstep, there's not a lot of structure to the song or whatever they're doing. I don't want to really call it a song. There's drum and bass, house, trance, even other dubstep. There's a lot of fucking structure to the song, like a regular song would be. Dubstep is just drop, heavy drop after heavy drop after heavy drop, mash theme, heavy drop.
Whoa.
I just threw I just threw the mash theme song out there because of the relevancy of today's date.
Is today the last episode?
Yes, today was the finale of MASH 40-something odd years ago. Yes. Cry a sad, happy tear. But it was just, it was very loud. And I'm not, oh my God, it's too loud. I'm an old person. But it was very loud. And it's just, like I said, not a lot of structure to the songs. It was, see, that's more house or drum and bass, right? Oh, yeah. Dubstep is just hardcore, just heavy bass thumping and wobbles, and it was a great time, but it was hard to like really get into the music. Ginger just showed up and asking what she noticed or what she missed because there was no Twitter notice that went out. It's because the only thing you missed out someone tried stealing the Points of Interest podcast Twitter account, and I realized after hitting the button to make the Twitter account go say, hey, we're going live, I have to re-authenticate it because someone tried to steal it. So work on it next time. But hey, thanks for being here. Something I did see that was interesting that you participated in, Francis, and then I felt jealous and left out. So I too tried to use it. I don't know what it's called. Is it Open AI or Chat AI?
Oh, Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. I'd seen this Chat GPT used in other not applications, but like YouTube videos and people using it. There's also one that Bing is using.
And Google's now using one too, an AI
okay,
for their search. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'd only seen the one for Bing, where you can, if you use, and there's been no reason to use Bing, right? But now you can get
so many reasons to use Bing. Sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Francis. Name them. I'll wait.
All right. Oh, actually, there's only one reason to use Bing. So Bing, every time you use Bing, you get points, right? Just for searching, you get points, and those points lead to. I think I got $120, $150 worth of Amazon gift cards over the past 5 or 6 years, thanks to just using Bing as a search engine every once in a while. You get points every day, and you can exchange it for like money, which is the only reason why I would use Bing, because Bing gives you points for doing stuff, silly things like taking a quiz or like answering a stupid question, and you just get points and you accumulate enough. And I've saved so much money on Amazon as a result, because you just get Amazon gift cards left. Right. You have Xbox, they'll give you. I had Xbox, the Game Pass, through them for like 6 months. I never paid a cent. They're just like, here you go. Insert EDM music here. They just throw it in the face. I'm like, yeah. Sparkles all over the place, glitter. So anyway,
Listener's Mate says the only reason that I use Bing is to hard to find videos.
That's another thing. Bing is great for porn.
Awesome. I'll have to give it a shot. I'm like, my body is trying to sneeze, so if I just like mute myself and sneeze, you know why. But like, I keep looking at the light to try and kill the sneeze, because people say that works, but my nose keeps tingling. But so Chat GPT, I saw, this is why I was saying the Bing thing. You can search something on Bing, and you can open, I don't know if you have to get this extension or whatever it is, but you could open up this extra window and say you don't want to read the article that you're looking at. You can open up this extra window, this extension, and it'll just summarize it for you. You type in there, hey, Bing, summarize the page for me. And it'll just bullet point the 5 things, or, I just picked a number. But it'll bullet point the most important stuff in the article. And what I'm burying the lead kind of on all this, but the thing that I saw them use, and it was what you ended up using, I guess, in a different program, was the guy typed in his own name, who is so and so, and the Chat GPT or the AI, whatever the hell it is, it searched the internet, and it said, YouTube asshole is, this year's old, and here's his YouTube channel, and this is what he does on his YouTube channel, and it listed everything, and his net worth is this, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting, but it's not interesting enough for me to use Bing, so I'll just kind of keep it in the back of my head and see, what else is out there. And then that's when I saw that you had used some sort of program
Yeah, UAI. Yeah, if you use UAI and you type your name in, you will find it will pluck the internet and see and describe you. And someone did this. I saw someone do this on my timeline, and they're like, "This is not who I am. This isn't so wrong." So
Hmm.
I'm like, "Okay, I'll try it." So I tried it, and it was pretty accurate. AKA the other guy. You have to look up your ad. So you look up your Twitter handle. At AKA the other guy is a podcaster, author, voice actor, gamer, and host of an improv comedy show. They are also the host of the Super Geeked Up and Generic podcasts, which sadly they don't say POI, but generic
We
podcast.
know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a Twitch channel at AKA the other guy and a Patreon. Sure. He's also been featured, speaking of which, on CMYK TV, providing commentary on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, Batman, DC, Flash, Geek, and Gotham. So, like, that's pretty accurate. Like, that's pretty close. So UAI, if you want to see like whether or not what kind of footprint you have on the internet, UAI will kind of give you an
Is it
idea of what your
U
footprint
dot
is.
AI or is it U space AI? What
Let-
is it?
so hold on, I'll give you the link right now. It is u.com.
U.com.
I think so. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Here it is. Is it this one? I don't remember where I went, because I just followed a trend. There was like this. It was trending for a while. The UAI stuff. Uh, Let me look it up real quick. While I will vamp a little bit and see if I can find it.
I'm on the page, so I don't I
But there's
don't
a certain page within UAI.
right because it
Um,
pulled up my Twitter account.
oh, it did.
Yeah, but it's my actual just Twitter account. It doesn't have like
Oh, okay. No, there's a way. There's a way that there is a talk function. I think it's here. Let's try this. I think it's I think it's UChat. I think that's where you have to do it in UChat, and then you have to sign in after you use it once. But
I'll look for it later. But it was very
yeah,
interesting because yours, as you just read it, was
yeah,
fairly fucking accurate.
yeah, yeah. And
Like
while the person who I pulled it from was like, "This is not me at all. It's all wrong." So,
mine was not very accurate.
uh-huh.
Not very accurate at all. And I think it did pull up CMKY TV actually.
Did it really? That's
I wish I
funny.
could. I should have screenshotted it so we can
So
talk
you did
about
look
it
it up.
here. I did.
Okay.
But it wasn't very accurate. And then when I think maybe I changed. I went instead of using my I used my name, and it pulled up an actor. So there's an actor named Josh Hawks. So
Oh yeah.
you know,
There's a
fuck me
priest.
for wanting to be me. I guess if I ever want to be an actor,
You'd have to change your name. You'd have to be El
I'll be this.
Hawkes.
I'll be the 17th. Not Josh Hawks the
I-
17th. I'll just be the
the
17th.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's listeners mate got here? The only reason for being okay, I already saw that. If I put my real name in UAI, I know it won't say much about me. It will talk about the famous basketball player that I happen to share the name with.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, you have kind of like it's not a generic name, but boy, like uh, unless your last name is like I don't know, if it really was El Hawkes, like if your last name was really El Hawkes, man, you're the only one.
Oh, totally.
So like, unfortunately, people with common last names, like I have a common last name, Fernandez, you'll find that everywhere. Again, there's a priest with my name who like wrote a bunch of Catholic books. So anytime you look up my name, there's that, and there's like, there is an actor with my name who was like a extra in a movie that with, I think Pee Wee Herman. I think it was Paul Rubens. Um, it's UAI there, Art of the Roll, or Greg. I don't know. And I always want to call people by their username. But
Oh,
I'm like,
sure.
I know their real
I mean,
names,
I
but
get
don't
it
know
for everybody else. I guess that way everybody else knows who you're talking about. But then by calling somebody by their first name, it's more personable.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm gonna call them. I'm just gonna call everyone by their name, their username. That way, at least people who are in the chat room like, who the hell is he talking about? Yeah, Jorge's gonna be. That's a hard one. That I don't think a lot of people. If you look up your name, I'm pretty sure there's like one you. But UAI was where we looked it up. There's a chat bot there that you can use once before you have to sign in, which I don't want to sign in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you sign it, if you do it once and you type in your @ it will try to find. It'll gather all of your information in that you have on the internet. And so far, it looks like apparently I'm the only one that has accurate information on mine, which is insane.
Mine just like missed the beat.
Not enough EDM for you. That's why.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's too many fucking drops. Not enough music.
Yeah, exactly. Stop dropping. Stop dropping basses and beats and just.
Well, let me drop this beat on you real quick then. I have no idea what the stars and the question mark are because they look like just stars and a question mark to me.
Is it?
It's not censored.
I know it's not censored.
I don't know. What the hell was I going to talk about? So we have been.
Oh, it was the URL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Josh has that. Yeah, there's a way to turn that off. I just don't know how.
Oh,
sorry, guys.
I will work on that for later. Where's my note? Where'd it go?
I don't know. You're gonna drop something on me.
Oh,
I hope it's not an end.
We've been talking about and alluding to a meeting and a new podcast with our friends over there at the Nerds That Geek.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Oh well, we had that meeting.
Oh, that's cool.
I spoke with their digital producer, their digital editor in chief, whatever. I'm not sure what his title is, but he's some sort of person of importance over there.
Ooh, fancy.
We got along immediately. He was like, I might even just put this out as a podcast because this is great stuff. Somehow we kept an ongoing theme about Godzilla through the 2 hours that we talked.
Well, I mean, you found a new reason to go to Japan.
Well, I find those every day though. But it looks like all things are going to be good for us to be making this show. What's really cool about it, Francis, is that they only want 1 or 2 shows out of us a month. So this, as we record here for the Points of Interest, really isn't going to go away, really. We might just 2 weeks out of the month might be doing something else. It's great.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. Now, wait a minute. Okay. Like, look, that means you're going to have to actually watch trailers and you're going to have to look at, like, pop culture stuff.
Yeah, here's the thing, Francis. I told them.
Yes.
This is your guys' thing. We'll be the talent. You tell me what you guys want. Give me direction. Tell us what we need to watch. Tell us what we need to talk about. What we might need to read. And we'll do what we do, but give me direction. So it was a great conversation. It looks like it's going to be fun to produce and fun to have along. We're going to have guests that want to be a part of it as well. It's not going to be just the 2 of us. Sometimes it will be. Yeah, it's great.
No, the intention is just to be on us.
Well, I mean, secretly, Francis, it will always be about us.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but we got to share the love. There'll be other people there too. So okay. There's not a whole lot else to talk about it right now, just because we're waiting. I'm waiting on them to give us some sort of timeline and ideas as to when they want to integrate us into their stuff. Greg,
go ahead.
No, you didn't miss anything over the last 2 months. There's another geek media outlet out here in Denver that has been very interested in having Francis and I join their ranks and help produce a podcast for them. I finally got to sit down with their editors and producer people, and Francis and I are going to help produce a show for a group called the Nerds That Geek in the upcoming months. It'll be an ongoing thing, and out of a month, they need 2 episodes. So we'll still be here doing this thing, and then 2 weeks out of the month, we'll be doing something else.
As if my days weren't already.
It'll be the same recording day. We just won't record this.
Oh, well, that makes me sad, but also I understand.
Yeah. But this isn't going away.
So this will be bi-weekly, and Nerds That Geek will be bi-weekly.
Correct.
It's going to, like, interchange.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so
I like it a lot.
I'm excited to, it's going to be fun having people give us homework and direction. And then
like
saying...
Our portfolio is growing.
Right, and it's just like, they're like, we just want you guys to do you. Just be yourselves. Do what you do. But we're just going to do it with a little bit more direction because you need it.
Look, as long as I don't have to do impersonations, I'm happy.
Well, I mean, you might. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see who the guests are, I guess.
Exactly. And what's really cool is I'm working with them to try and get them to get back into the convention thing and let me kind of run their convention side of their media empire.
You didn't hear it from me, but they really want to do San Diego Comic-Con. You didn't hear it from me.
But I didn't hear that from you. No.
You didn't hear it from me. They don't want to hear Bashir's voice all the time there, Greg. Okay? I know what you're trying to say. Look, you're bringing in Super Geeked Up into our point. You're putting peanut butter into our chocolate here, Greg.
I mean, maybe we do. Maybe we do.
Maybe we do. You never know.
You know what we do need?
One big happy family.
You know what we do need, Francis? We need to know enough people out there that if we feel like producing a skit, that we could do it and have the people talented enough to fulfill the roles.
Yeah.
Now, I was telling somebody recently that a couple friends of mine were on one of those TV judge shows.
Okay.
And I couldn't remember the judge's name. The judge I was thinking of was Judge Joe Brown.
Oh, okay.
Which was really weird because that show was filmed in L.A., but the court case was here in Denver. I don't know how TV court works, but the thing is, I couldn't remember Judge Joe Brown, and I said it was Judge James Brown, and then that got me thinking. Holy shit, we missed out on a television show.
I mean, yeah.
Work with me here. Work with me. James Brown comes into the courtroom wearing his James Brown cloak thing, and he kneels down, and the guy takes it off and then puts on the judge cloak for him.
The robe, yeah.
Yeah, the cloak, whatever the fuck it's called.
Cloak,
sure. And then he's like, yeah, he gives out the, and it hits the mallet. And, oh, kiss me. Help me.
Guilty.
See, you're playing along. See, we need somebody. We don't know anybody that looks like that looks like James Brown. But see, this is why we need.
Greg is like the white James Brown. Sorry. Oh, Greg. I mean, look. No, he's the white James Brown. He's also a man of 1,000 voices. He always said. But anyway, I hope we do like D&D, and we have this man the host of Art of the Roll and other such shows. I hope we can get him as a guest for our Do we know that? Do we have a name for this Nerds That Geek pop show that we're doing? Do we have a name for it? I know we're taking from the one that already exists, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
No. I think I think we're just taking over. I think we're just taking over Nerds That Speak.
Nerds That Speak.
Yes, Nerds
I
That
couldn't remember
Speak.
the name, even though it's Nerds That Geek, but Nerds That Speak.
Art of the Roll says 1,000 voices that all sound like Bashir.
Yeah.
Listeners mate, I would watch a web series about Judge James Brown. So yeah, so would I. I would watch the shit out of that all the time.
And Greg Horvey. Yeah, that would be great. Let's make it happen.
We should totally make this happen. That'd be great.
We should totally make it happen. Anyone who can do a good James Brown accent.
It's
He's
not,
passed away, hasn't he?
yes, but it's not just the accent. It's got to be all the mannerisms.
Mannerisms.
All of them. It's got to be like, exactly kneeling down and and spinneroonies and yeah, all of it. Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
It'll be in honor of, not it's not a parody. It's in honor of a great musician and class act. So we'll make it happen. That's the first thing you need to sell to the nerds that speak.
Right.
Show.
Find me a James Brown.
James Brown.
You did just mention something about a hell of a guy or something like that.
Yeah.
I do need to bring up a hell of a guy. The hell of a guy, actually, I never got to meet, but unfortunately suddenly passed away this past week.
Ooh.
Since we did also mention conventions. So there was a very long-standing convention here in Colorado called Starfest. And before Starfest, it was called StarCon. It started in 1977 and was one of the first. It was the first convention in Colorado, the first group in Colorado to privately screen Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah.
So the Walkers, Stephen and Kathy Walker, were the people that ran this convention, and it was Stephen that just passed away this past weekend. I did media and press coverage for this convention since 2012. I never met Stephen. I had seen him a couple times. I was aware of who he was, but I never met the guy myself. My contact was always through his wife, Kathy. So when I see, this past weekend that all these people are doing these tributes for Stephen, I was just like, the face is familiar. I feel bad I never got to meet the guy. And
that's
people that you and I know that don't live in Colorado, that live on the coast of America, knew Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very odd. It's not very odd because it was Star Trek StarCon was a very heavy Star Trek convention. Mm-hmm. So our friend that lives in the crazy state where crazy things happen, even our moderator buddy, I think I'm giving you enough hints. Even he knew Stephen. So I didn't realize how big of a head he was. And it's just very sad to see that he did pass away, especially since Starfest had their last show last year. So there isn't going to be a Starfest,
like an in memoriam or like
exactly. There is a group on Facebook that up until the other day was named Save Starfest, and this group of people wanted to obtain the Starfest IP and continue making a convention under the Starfest name. And I threw my name in there just to kind of keep an eye on what's going on over there. And it was like the next day, the day after Stephen died, the activity on this Facebook page just blew up with people trying to like, oh, how can we get how can we get the IP and this and that? And I got on there and I was like, you guys really think this is the best time to be talking about taking the IP from somebody when they're mourning their husband?
Yeah, that sucks. Oh, geez.
I was like, I think the best idea maybe you should all think about is maybe, one, changing the name of this Facebook page, and two, if you really want to get a convention going, start a new IP, because she's not going to give it up.
Right.
Especially now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it sucks. Like I said, I never got to meet Steven, and I don't want to like end things on a downer or anything like that, but it sucks when somebody from the convention circuit, the convention family, whether you met them, you knew them, or you didn't, it still has some effect. You know? And to know that these guys have been running the show for 45 years up until last year. Like I would never have thought our moderator buddy in Florida would know anybody in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then to see him posting a memorial thing and talking how much, you know, it was great to see him when he did and this and that. I'm like, holy crap. The convention world, we know how small and tight-knit it is, but it's sometimes when you're away from it, like we have been for a while, it's really refreshing to see how much we all are actually still kind of tight with each other.
I mean, look, for people who, you know, may have not ever really gone to a convention or don't go to small ones like Starfest, or we used to go to one called Great Philly Comic Con. There's a term that gets thrown around whenever you go to these conventions, which is con family. Mm-hmm. And that is a very, very true term in which people really do feel like a family there, because it's small enough to where you get to see familiar faces and you get to interact with people every time you go, whether you're an attendee or someone who actually works at a convention. You become familiar with the people who are there. And so, you know, that is a huge deal. So for this person whom, you know, you were like, you were aware of but never got to meet it personally, right? Like, it doesn't matter because they were a part of something that you were a part of that con family. So to me, that makes a whole lot of sense.
I mean,
to be.
Go ahead.
Go on. Yeah,
no, I mean, even to kind of go off of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Use your words correctly. Neither one of us are big Batman aficionados, much less Batman comic readers, much less stiff upper lip comic book people anyway.
Right.
But through conventions, we kind of befriended / forced our friendship upon Neil Adams.
Right.
And it's not because we were fucking fanboys of Neil Adams. It's because it's because he was kind of a sour puss, you know.
He was a hard ass.
A hard ass old man, and we just had to give ourselves a challenge because we kept running into him at conventions over and over and over again for a whole year. Yeah. When he passed, it sucked because we knew, even though I think he got totally sick of us, but we both knew that we're not gonna have that fun interaction of him being all like, you know, I can't think of what the word is, but just a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
And it like I said, I'm not even a big Batman comic book guy, but having those weird interactions with him, it sucks to miss out on that con family type of thing. So
no, I getcha. Yeah.
It's kind of an ancillary thing, and at the same time, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see what.
No, listeners had mentioned that he says, I don't know about that, Josh. If I had someone in my life who had run a convention and they passed it, and I was hearing that they want to keep the gauntlet going, I'd be honored and would gladly help keep my loved one's vision alive. But I don't think that's the case, really. It's because the the wife who owns the IP for that convention, um, it's ultimately her decision because it's she's the one who's has ownership of the name
Mm-hmm.
more than anything else, and of that con, and she doesn't really want to do anything with it
Right.
anymore. That's why they shut it down. Um, so for her, it's just more of like it was a husband and wife deal. She doesn't want to go forward. And so, yeah, to me that makes sense.
And
you
now
don't want to do it without your partner,
right.
right?
And
So,
I mean, but on listeners' mate's point, I think that if these people could arrange a new convention, they
yeah,
could
okay, yeah, yeah.
have, they can have all the same vendors, all the same uh, dink dink,
Artists and
dink dink
yeah,
traditions that were
traditions,
at
yeah,
Starfest at a new location under a new name.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like the one of the big things they had there was called the Federation Ball,
Mm,
right? So it was Saturday night. It was the party night. Think back to equate it, Francis. Philly, Saturday night Philly at the bar. You know,
yeah.
that's
Well, that was all people we knew.
but yes, but
Yeah,
that's also what the Federation Ball was. It's all the attendees that have been going there since the 70s and having a good time drinking and having, a little DJ party and having a great time. In some of the vendors and it's like you can have all of that, but you can do it under a different name.
right. And maybe even under different management, like it might go places where Starfest couldn't, right?
Right.
For whatever reason. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean that's kind of that's a hard hurdle to jump, at least with Starfest itself, like being able to keep that going. But yeah, I think that having another convention, even though I think personally, I think the convention fever has died down. Where we used to have conventions every week to the point where we did a podcast all about conventions because there were just so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, thing, Thanks to COVID and thanks to a couple other things, it's like, yeah, let's just stick to big ones, and small ones I think are just gonna go by the wayside for the most part.
I mean,
Um,
we'll definitely see what the next few years are going to be like, but
you know, I
being
don't think conventions are gonna be as big because look at like look at E3 for instance, which is
mhm,
not a comic book convention or pop culture. It's a gaming convention.
mhm.
Guess
Which
who's not going to be there?
still falls under pop culture.
Sure. Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. Guess who's not going to be there? PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox and Microsoft.
Well, because
They're not going to be at E3.
they have their own events.
Exactly. But that's my point. Like these things, Marvel will be like, why do we want to do a convention? We can just do a Marvel convention where we
Mhm.
just. Well, no, we have D23 and we have like, Disney already does stuff for us.
Mhm.
Why do we need to do a thing? DC is going to be like, we have Fandom, which is that weird online thing that we do, where we just have like a live stream of actors and stuff saying weird things to camera,
Right. They're
introducing new movies and
they're
stuff.
they're
Like,
doing a panel in front of nobody.
exactly. It's like, well, just do that. I think that's why I'm like, well, conventions, niche ones will exist, but I think in general it's just like there's a small one in San Diego that just can't, like, I know the person who helps run that convention. They're like, we can't run it.
Mm.
Like it's just too hard. Like there's too many hurdles to jump to get this convention to even happen,
Mhm.
right? So it's like we don't know what to do because we can't. They're just it's just so hard, and then like yeah, it is. So I think it's just it's just hard to do these things nowadays. Yeah.
It is.
So it sucks. Yeah.
It is, and
E3, Emerald City though. Emerald City still exists. So
Emerald City is still going strong. It looks like Denver Fan X will be, the whole Fan X train will be rolling all summer long.
Choo.
Hopefully our buddies over there at Source Point Press are going to be sponsors again.
Oh, there you go.
So, maybe if I don't get member media credentials, maybe I can call Travis and be like, you need someone to help watch the booth, right?
Are you going to Emerald?
No, but I'm saying if they're part of the sponsorship for FanX, they'll be here.
Oh, for FanX there. Oh, for FanX over there. Okay, sorry.
So I mean,
oh
no.
Okay.
Protect kayfabe. My free house and boarding is leaving Seattle again.
Yeah,
and going back to Ireland. So
somebody asked me like, what do you do? Because they're going to Seattle for like a weekend. So a friend of mine's like, so what's that thing to do over there? And I'm like, I was there like 8 years ago. We looked at a troll, and then we went to like a fancy restaurant where some dude had a business card, like where the waiter had a business card, and they gave us his business, like he gave us his business card specifically for this one waiter dude at this restaurant. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. And they're just like, okay, I guess we'll just go to the Sound. I'm like, well then there.
I mean, the Fisherman's Wharf, we didn't really go down there too much.
Fisherman's Wharf is San Francisco.
Well, they have one in Seattle as well. Pike's Market, yeah, whatever. But it is that's what they throw fish. They throw fish at you there.
There's a Fisherman's Wharf in Seattle, yeah.
But there's
Starbucks,
which is right across the street from where they throw fish at you. But where they throw fish at you, there's like a mall underground that you can go into antique shops and shit like that.
Yeah.
You can go on a short walk out of downtown and go to a pho restaurant.
For sure.
Oh wait, that was in San Diego, wasn't it?
Yes, but still, there's probably fun in Seattle.
There probably is, but there is a lot of in Seattle. It's fucking Subway.
Like the sandwich?
Yeah, the sandwich place.
The mode of transportation.
No, the sandwich place. Just at.
Oh, that's right.
Just at the convention center that Emerald City takes place in, which is technically two different convention centers. There is
2 hotels. Oh yeah.
There are 2 or 3 Subway sandwich joints inside of those convention centers.
Yeah.
Across the street and half a block down is another Subway, and I think a block from there is another Subway. I mean, I don't know what it is about Seattleites. Whatever.
Well, I have an awful joke and a clean joke, so I don't know which one I want to go for.
Hit me with the dirty one. You dirty boy.
It's not dirty. It's just that they love their kids.
Seattle loves their kid.
No, because never mind. I guess it didn't work because the original the one guy who was like the big promoter of Subway.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is why it's awful. Or that I mean look. The Subway. It's I don't remember what the other one was. I lost it because I was it was pretty oh good. I'm glad the sound. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Greg. Yes. That's exactly why they love their kids over there.
God. It's just getting worse the more I think about it.
Anyway, I mean, dude got thin though. I mean, can't argue that. Yes, there are a lot of coffee shops in Seattle outside of just Starbucks.
There are.
Where was the hipster place that we went to? Was that in Seattle or was that in
I thought that was in San Diego. The hipster joint with the avocado toast joint
with the bagels.
Yeah, that was San Diego.
Okay. All right.
Well,
look,
I mean,
kind of blend together.
They got the Seattle's best, and then there's another company out there besides Starbucks. But the coffee shops were everywhere in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, they're connoisseurs. They're the Napa Valley of coffee.
I guess, yeah. Art of the World says I once dressed as a hipster for Halloween. Was definitely scary.
Well, if you want to freak somebody out, dress like a hipster. If you want someone to avoid you, dress as dress as a hipster.
That's true. That's because you'll be thinking, as the person looking over there at the hipster, like, man, I could go tell them, or say hi, but they're just gonna tell me how cool they were before something was cool.
Yeah. Well, that and they're gonna try to sell you on their hemp shampoo, and it's like, I guess.
Right.
No, thank you.
Hipsters are just well-dressed wooks.
The thing, I'm amazed hipsters have lasted this long. Like, I thought the hipster thing would have died down by now.
Well, yeah, you have to go backwards in time, Francis. You got to think about how long were the beatniks around? Because hipsters are just an evolution of a beatnik.
That's true. Yeah. So Greg says, I wore a tight white T-shirt with a scarf, and I drew on a neat mustache and smiled with a full mouth opening. Wait, the full mouth open thing?
Like
what is that?
Like you're smiling with your whole mouth, as opposed, it's a
thing. I sure I do. I don't know. Is that a hipster? Is that a hipster look? The tight white T-shirt with the scarf? Yeah, no. You're right. No, that is actually, yeah. If you had a beanie on, I think
that it was 85 degrees outside, and you had a wool beanie on.
Yeah, you have to have the beanie. Yeah, it's ironic. Their favorite word is ironic. Yeah. Man, look at that's I think their favorite thing.
Who's the gladiator? Who's that guy?
The Gladiator?
Yeah, who's that guy?
Oh, Russell Crowe?
Yeah, you gotta look like Russell Crowe if you want to be a hipster. I think he was right. It's a tight shirt,
The tight shirt, yeah.
The scarf I think is optional, but definitely a wool hat in 90+ degree temperature.
Yes, and trying to think of what else, but yeah, I guess so. I think that's more or less it. Oh, and you have to wear like a plaid button down, or like tie it around your waist.
Like a flannel, like
flannel,
a grunge 90s kind of look.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you have to, but it can't be flannel. It has to be like a plaid, kind of like with earth colors.
Oh, okay.
Like earthy, like browns and yellows. And you have that tied around your waist.
tip your hat.
You have to. Don't forget to tip your. It's not a fedora, because you wouldn't wear a fedora if you were a hipster.
It's like a bowler, isn't it? Or
oh, bowler's good. Yeah, yeah. If you're wearing a bowler, you need a bowler. Yeah.
Or like a.
You can't. No, if you tip the hat and say "milady," you're a nice guy TM. You're like the guy that you're the nice guy that always wonders why he's always alone and no girl ever likes him because he's nice.
But I'm a nice guy. But I'm fucking nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you tip the hat and go "milady."
Greg, I actually went as.
Well, that's Lister's Mate.
Oh, Lister's Mate. Yeah, Lister's Mate. I went as Dead Ross.
Deadpool Bob
Ross. Dead Ross, or Pool, Bob Poole, to a concert this past year. My lady got me the whole Bob Ross costume for Halloween, but had forgotten to bring parts of it when she came over, so all I had was the afro. So I was like, well, I can't just wear the afro by itself, so I'll do a Deadpool mask on, and I'll fit in with all the rave kids. And I actually thought, Francis, I really did think that people would be, I'd walk past people and they'd be like, oh, look at that. But then I realized that I was tame looking compared to everybody else.
On a rave.
And, I wasn't wearing just pasties. Although next year, I know.
I think you need to. I think you need to wear a fishnet top
and
pasties.
And pasties, yeah.
Yeah. And like a little tutu.
And a sock.
but a really long song.
Yeah, with
Like
weight.
one that drags on the ground when you're
With
walking.
weight in it and shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But you got to put a weight in there. You got to maybe actually put like a real sausage in there and just have it drag on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you can dance like that, but at least try.
You are right, Greg. We should just wear pasties on here, and we might get more views actually.
Well, yeah. Look, I remember the era of Twitch where men could take off their shirts, but women couldn't wear like bikinis and stuff. And then when they retracted that, the hot tubs, pools, and whatever channel like popped out of nowhere on Twitch, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, there you go.
Yeah, here we are.
This is what the people want.
Seems legit.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What do you have going on over there in Francis Land before we wrap things up here?
Yeah, because it's two things we've been doing a lot with this show lately is starting late and going along. So I'll wrap it up.
That's how I like to do things. I like to
like to start late and go long.
I like to start late and go long, Francis. My girlfriend's very annoyed by it.
That's what they call you, LL Cool. Well, I guess you'd be LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool Josh.
The Cool J?
No, LL is ladies love Cool Josh.
I know, but I went L as
not LL like in El Jaquez. LL Jaquez. All right, one thing,
Yes.
in case you missed it from any other show I've done to this, since I don't have my own show anymore. The only thing I'll say outside of a bunch of other stuff that's happening is Super Nintendo Land.
Oh yes,
real quick.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about that.
So I'll just briefly say Super Nintendo Land at Universal is amazing. It is small in relation to like the rest of the park. You realize how tiny it is in relation to especially Disneyland, which like takes forever to walk around, and there's so many things to see and do. It's not that there's not a lot of things to see and do at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's just like a third of the size of Disneyland. Like it's really kind of small. But Super Nintendo World at the moment has a virtual queue, so you actually have to like get in line the moment you enter the park. There's like a little queue on an app, so you can actually enter into Super Nintendo Land at like sometime during the day, and you play games. That's what you do at Super Nintendo Land outside of Mario Kart, which is like a weird virtual reality game. Like it's weird. It's like an augmented reality game. Actually, you don't like you see stuff happening on a screen that's like attached to your face, and then you're driving with someone else, which makes it weird. And you're shooting shells at people, and you're shooting like all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Oh, the new Hogwarts ride. See, there's no. Well, I wish there was a new Hogwarts ride. It's still the same Harry Potter and the Lost something or other, which is a great ride. I read it. I wrote it twice while I was there. But anyway, Super Nintendo World, worthwhile. It's great. It's only Mario with some Pikmin for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. There's some Pikmin from like in like the corner carrying a coin. You get a wristband. You have to buy it, which sucks, but you have to buy this wristband. And you hit blocks for coins because there's a point system in the game while you're at the park, while you're in this section of the park. You hit coins. You fight Goombas. You put a piranha plant to sleep. You knock turtle shells up into the air. Like those are the things you have to do to get keys to fight the final boss, which is Bowser Jr. And I will keep us how you fight the boss is so much fun and so weird. Like I've never done anything like it. That I'm not going to say what you do. I mean, I'll tell Josh if he wants to know after the show. But it's weird. Like it's really strange. But it was a lot of fun. And there's a cafe there that I couldn't get to because it's sold out like halfway through the day. Halfway through the day. But I'm ready to go again. I'm excited to go again. I think it's really worthwhile.
Would it be a good date afternoon, Francis?
No.
Oh,
because
okay.
it is crowded.
Hmm.
It is a lot of children, which is cool because it's kind of weird because it's kind of really meant for older kids because it's Mario Brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mario Brothers feels like an older kid thing, like
But,
an
but
adult
but it's for
thing.
everybody. I mean, come on.
It is for everybody. Oh yeah, the Mario and Luigi and the princess come out for pictures and photo ops and stuff. You saw our friend Alyssa take pictures with them. I did not.
Hmm.
Yes, there's a lot. Ha ha ha, Greg. Yes, there are children there. Um, a lot of the line you're in line most of the time to play the games to
Mm-hmm.
get the keys. So a lot of my time was spent in
Ouch.
line. What is? Oh. If that were the case, there, Greg, you would actually be in. But anyway, so yeah, it's a fun experience. There's a lot of Easter eggs I didn't get to see. Like there's like hidden things that you can use, like you use this on, and I actually showed a picture of it where like Princess Peach from the 8-bit Mario Brothers just shows up on the wall,
Hmm.
and it's like, really cool, just random, right? And like there's blocks all over the place that you have to hit with your fists, like literally hit them with your fists to make them work. It's great. Like it's really crazy, but it is a lot of line sit. For now, it's a lot of standing in line. It's a lot of like sitting on mushrooms because that's what the seats are all mushrooms, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of that, but otherwise, good time. So
No, it's
there you go.
awesome. I was seeing the pictures not only from you, but like you did say, our friend Alyssa was there as well.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was fun. The thing you can't tell though is something you did touch on is how small it actually is, and or whatever, however you worded that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
small. It's small in the sense of like it yeah, it's small in the sense of like if you compare it, if you've never been to Disneyland, you think it's big, but if you've been to a place like Disneyland, you're gonna be like, That's it."
well, I mean, Universal.
It's a
Universal is obviously its footprint is huge, but
yeah, but it's a functioning
the
studio.
theme side of Universal is quite small.
Yeah, it's
I,
because they actually film stuff there. You
yeah.
know. How does it compare to Harry Potter World? You will feel immersed as Harry Potter. Harry Potter World. What I love about the Harry Potter Land is you feel like you're there.
Hmm.
You know, you feel like you're in the world of Harry Potter. You know, everyone is super nice, and everyone is in character in Harry Potter World. They're not in character in Mario in the Nintendo world because there's no character
Mm-hmm.
really.
Mm-hmm.
But like you'll feel like you're in a Mario land. Like, you know, you look around and all you see are those weird Nintendo mountains, right? It is smaller. No, it's the same size as Harry Potter World, I would say. It's about the same size. If you've been to Universal Studios Hollywood, if you've been to Universal Studios Florida, Florida's huge in comparison, but that's because they have more land
I was gonna
and
say
they
they have
have
a lot
filming.
more footprint.
Yeah, so they have a lot more land to make stuff. Like there's a Hogsmeade, like there's a whole separate Hogsmeade versus Hogwarts in Florida. I'm certain the Nintendo world there is going to be bigger. But yes, this is in California, so the California one is tiny. Like Hogwarts in Universal Studios Hollywood is they don't have it. They don't have Diagon Alley, for instance, which is like its own place. They don't have like these things, these extra like areas that you can go to that they have in Florida. In California, you walk like 15 minutes in one direction, you're already at the end,
Hmm.
right? Like you just go just one direction, you're done, which kind of sucks. But I still think it's immersive. I think it's still my favorite part of Universal is Harry Potter World. So
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know, it is what it is.
I definitely Universal is some places I've always wanted to check out more of because
Yeah.
I've only been there as a kid, and
I've only been there as a kid too, so this was my first time going back to the park, just seeing the entire park. Like I rode the Simpsons ride for the very first time
hmm,
this past weekend. I didn't go when it was Back to the Future, which makes me sad. Like I didn't go, like I would have loved to have been it when that ride was Back to the Future. You know, every ride that's there was new to me. The Mummy ride's been there for like 3 decades.
Right.
And I've never ridden it before until this past, 2 Mondays ago. Like, that's the first time I've ever ridden that ride. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it's like I just have never been. So now I have a pass. So I guess I have to.
Yeah, you're gonna go
justify the cost.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to go a whole bunch.
At least 5 more times I have to go.
At least.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's gonna be it because I'm tired. I need a snack and I get ready to get up in 6 hours and go to work. Yeah. But Francis, where can people find you on the internets and possibly maybe even on a live improv show on the YouTubes?
Yeah, go to supergeekedup.com right now. I don't have anything new on my own website, so I'm not going to pimp it out because I have nothing to share at the moment. But go to supergeekedup.com for a brand new live Super Geeked Up tomorrow. Supergeekedup.com. I'm saying it really fast and mumbling. And go to this other website called POI Podcast. Actually, there's no website.
There is no website, but you can go to it if you want to.
Go to Nerds That Geek. Familiarize yourself with that because we're going to be on there soon.
And it's not happening because we'll have to fix it for next weekend. But you should also check out Art of the Roll because our buddy Greg throws some awesome content over there. Yes, it did censor you, but we got you covered, Greg. Check out Art of the Roll. Check out Listener's Mate on the Twitters. Yomelia, I think he's on Twitters. You can check him out there too. He'll be back here again. And Ginger, I think she's on the Twitters as well. I don't know what her Twitter account is, though. But we'll be back here same time next week. You can find me at 303_ninja, 303 ninja on the Instagram. Phone number, you can call voicemail. I think someone called us, but my phone was on the other side of the room. But you can call us at 314-764-7631. You can call into the show or text us or voicemail, and we'll talk about it or make fun of it. Email at thepoipodcast@gmail.com, and just look up POI Podcast. You'll find us everywhere. We'll be back here next week to have some more fun and to have bad impressions and stuff like that. Francis with his hand movements and jazz hands and shit.
Hopefully more EDM dancing.
Yeah, exactly. I'll remix. I'll do a remix of the song and see if we can't, throw some beats. But that's it. We'll be back here next week. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bing.